guys, Jonah here, and I'm back with another beer review, and we are doing another one from the Beer 52 Awards for 2022. And today we are looking at these guys, North Brewing. And they've won the Sustainability Award, essentially for their new tap room that's using a lot of solar kind of collectors for heating water, that kind of stuff that you need in a brewery. They're also doing something, they're kind of, it's good, but it's kind of half-hearted in my opinion. So they are doing a lot more cask beers than draft beers, which, or bottle beers, I guess. Which basically means they don't have to use carbon dioxide, so they don't have to buy carbon dioxide in to use to force carbonate their beers. Perhaps you could collect your own carbon dioxide from the fermentation, and then if you wanted to, you could put it back into your beers. But that would involve a lot of extra equipment and that kind of thing. So what they've done is they've taken some of their beers that they brewed a lot of and put them in cask. So people that are members of Camera, and I am as well, but I do like draft beers, and there are other options. Key Keg is another one. People will be happy that that breweries are going back to cask beers. Is it the work of the devil having carbon? I don't know, especially if you are collecting your own carbon dioxide, which a local brewery to me is definitely doing, the Ram brewery. Oh my god, coughing a lot. Anyway, the beer we're looking at is this one, User Light Syndrome, which is, I don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. It's an American brown, and it says it's a rich, sweet, robust malt-based beer with punchy American hops, straight up smooth caramel, gentle roast backbone, and nutty finish, complemented by pine, and lots of citrus. And the malt bill down here: extra pale, dark crystal, medium crystal, pale crystal, chocolate malt, oats, and black malt. So a lot of different malts in there. Weirdly enough, though, one of the things in the article, and I flicked out of the but I did actually read the article, said that they're being more sustainable by using a lot of British grown hops, but apparently not in the beer that they've actually provided, which I think is a bit weird. If you're going to give someone an award and part of it's that they're using a lot of English hops, but then, I mean, come on dude, focus, there we go, it is an American brown ale, so it's going to have some American hops in there, but why not do a different beer? I think that's a bit bizarre. Anyway, never mind. It is pretty traditional. I would say the actual graphics on there are reasonably modern, but yeah, a lot of people are doing stripy logos and stuff, just weird ones, modern, postmodern, that kind of thing. Anyway, I like myself a dark beer, especially in the winter time. Back on the kind of tulip. So let's get this bad boy into a glass. And as it's only a 330, I should have no fear in just chucking it in, even if it means I'm going to get a lot of head like I am there. Let us do one of these things. Let's get that nice kind of logo in there. Move that around there, and I'll do a cheesy grin like I usually do. Over a finger, almost 2 fingers worth of head, and I really did force it, so that head is not going to be hanging around. But look at that, looks like a Swiss cheese, like an Emmental or something. Lots of off-white tan coloured head there. The beer itself is supposed to be a brown. I don't know if you can see right at the bottom. It's turning brown, but it looks pretty dark to me. Ooh, interesting. So I'm getting like tropical kind of notes. I was thinking that because how did they describe it? Let me look at the can. Just says New World hops, citrus, bitterness, punchy, blah 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 blah. I would not be surprised if that is mosaic ultimately. I thought it was going to be Citra because you know that is the most widely available hop. But weird calling it an American brown if you're not using American hops. They said New World hops, so that implies it's going to be somewhere like Australia, New Zealand, but maybe it's American hops. Let's see what we get on the taste. See if I can decipher. But I'm thinking it's going to be a lot more modern than I thought, which would be bizarre because it wouldn't be an American brown then, would it? Maybe the style only. Oh, that is a nice beer. I just realised I didn't say how strong it was, but it was on the back there. It is 6% on the ABV. That is nice. It looks like it could almost be a porter or a stout. But let me tell you, it does not taste like that at all. It's very muted, even though it's a dark beer, and it's really letting the hop shine through. It tastes a little bit like a mild, even though it's 6%. There's no way you could call this a mild. Oh. And it is. It's weird. You've got fruitiness in there. You've got the kind of, but then there's some grassiness in there too. So maybe they're using lots of different malts. Maybe Citra is in there, but I think something perhaps fruity, maybe a mosaic, maybe even like a Simcoe or something along those lines. Because there is a bit of juice in there. It's definitely not one hop used in here. There's lots of different ones mixed together. It doesn't really say, but good carbonation too. I was going to say the malt bill with dark beers, you're always thinking about the malt bill, and as we saw from the magazine, it listed loads and loads of different malts, but it didn't touch on the hops at all. And this, I would say, is more a hop forward bill, hop forward beer, I should say, than a malt forward beer, which is really weird considering it's so dark. But it is quite nicely balanced. It tastes reasonably watery too. For a beer that's supposedly 6%, there's not much body to it. Make of that as you will. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I was just expecting it to be a bit more chewy, a bit more dark, especially because it's got oats in it as well. Usually you get a kind of chewy creaminess. I'm not really getting that. All I'm getting is the kind of, and it's not an IPA in terms of the hops. It's not going to blow your head off with hops, this beer. But I was expecting it to be a lot more malty, and it's more hoppy. Maybe that's why they're calling it American style beer, because it is more hop forward. And we've even got a line, and a line there. They're not solid, they're not thick lines, but we're definitely getting the lines. And in this case, I would definitely say that is probably from the addition of the oats in there. New wild hops bringing fresh bitterness and a punchy citrus flavour and aroma. Yeah, I'd go with that. I am pleasantly surprised with this beer. It's a bit different as well to that looks like the side of a kind of car or something with the old pinstriping on. But yeah, I'm actually genuinely surprised by the much I'm liking this beer. It's light user syndrome, it's called there. And it is, I would say, that's a beer to watch out for. If you are up, where are they? Says down at the bottom, and I cannot read because I'm blind as anything. Leeds, they're from. Okay, so up in Yorkshire, or we should say the Midlands because it's sort of lower Yorkshire. It's not Yorkshire proper, although Yorkshire is massive, covers like 4 counties, I think. Really, really massive place. But yeah, Leeds is on the kind of southern side of those counties, shall we say. I'm talking a bit of old toot. That usually happens when I've had a beer of sort of 6%. But anyway, this has been your loving Unclejona here, spreading beer throughout the land. If you've enjoyed this video, please click like. Please consider subscribing if you haven't liked this video. Thank you for watching this far. It says more about you as a dear viewer than me as a content creator. Anyway, we will be back with more beer reviews real soon. Until then, guys, take care.